Hi, this is Ashley with NAPLEXTIME. Let's work on this problem. We have a problem here about retrovir. We're going to jump down to where the question is, how many milliliters of D5W are needed for each dose of JM's retrovir to make a final concentration of 2 milligrams per ml? The available strength of retrovir is 200 milligrams per 20 mLs. Notice that we have a table here describing route, total daily dose, and dose regimen. We'll be careful to answer exactly what it's asking, oral versus intravenous dose. And keep in mind that we're looking for how many milliliters of D5W are needed for each dose. Since this is a dilution, and we have two concentrations, we can use C1V1 equals C2V2. How do I know to use volume in the C1V1, C2V2 formula rather than the quantity like milligrams in Q1C1? The reason is it's a liquid. This is a liquid, and the question asks for milliliters of D5W. I replaced C1 and C2 with concentrations that were given, the 200 milligram per 20 ml reduced to 10 milligram per ml, and the given 2 milligram per ml. When I do replace them here, I still have two variables, volume 1 and volume 2. How do I find the starting volume, V1? That's right, find the required dose and divide by the concentration. We can use the required dose to find volume. Here's the required dose. From the original question was for IV route is 1.5 milligram per kilogram, and this patient weighed 2.5 kilograms. We multiply, cross cancel, and we're left with 3.75 milligrams per dose. C1V1 equals C2V2. We replace the concentrations, we reduce. Notice that once we multiply volume 1 and concentration 1, we actually get the dose, 3.75 milligrams. We should also notice each side of the equation should equal the dose, 3.75 milligrams. So I'm going to solve using algebra, just divide 2 milligram per ml, and we'll get V2 is 1.875. If you feel like you are finished, check the question one more time. Are you answering the question? We must find milliliters of D5W. V2 is the total final volume. We cannot use V2, which is the total final volume. In order to find the milliliters of diluent D5W, we subtract volume 2 minus volume 1. That's the final minus initial. So here's V2, 1.875 milliliters minus 0.375 milliliters, and we get an answer 1.5 milliliters, which winds up being the amount of diluent that we added, our D5W that we added. So how do we know when we actually need to subtract? Subtract when we're asked for a diluent like NS, water, base, D5W, lactose, or anything that is not